All right, welcome everyone. Kevin LaRocca here with Bonnie Pro Strategies. This is going to be a recap for this prior week, ending Friday on November 8th, 2019. And once again, it was a very, very good week, hitting my objective on most every day. Some days I did go a little bit more than the objective, but what I'm really excited about, and that's just something that I know a lot of my students are starting to do, is they're looking at that very first trade out of the gate. For me, this week, I hit it 90%, not quite 100%, but which means that every first trade that I take, that when I come in to a particular session, and each one of these are sessions, we have a morning and a night. What this is that the first trade out of the gate, I put a 3-lot on. I may go a little bit more than that, but typically it's no more than 3. And I trade that because it usually gives my account a nice little boost starting off. And I hit it 90% this week. So once again, a very, very good week. The other thing is the percentages. Had some really good percentages just on the naked trades. Now, if you haven't been watching these videos, naked trade means these patterns, when a particular pattern gets set up, we try to look at other factors besides just the fact that it's set up for a buy or a sell. So naked means that I'm not considering any other factors. I'm not looking at EOM, which is something that I develop that you can use as a filter. We also look at pair correlations on the different currencies. This is assuming that you didn't look at any kind of filtration whatsoever and just traded the signals. You can see the percentages are pretty impressive. And we had some nights this week where we were hitting at 100%. We didn't have any losers on some of these pairs. So just a really good week overall. The other thing I wanted to share with you is starting in December, it looks like we're going to start releasing daily signals, meaning that there's a lot of people, I understand, that just want to trade dailies. I know that these patterns are universal, and they work across all time frames and in all markets. And we've been applying it to the daily charts, and we've been seeing some pretty impressive results as well. So starting in December, I'm going to start releasing those to our members. And in the meantime, if you want to see some of the beta signals, and I call them beta because I want to give it a few more weeks here before I actually release it. But if you want some beta signals, let me know, and I will get those. I'll get those over to you. But nonetheless, something really excited about. Now, me personally, I don't do a lot of trading on the dailies. My preference is to trade 5 minutes because it gives me a lot of opportunities. But if you don't have time to do that, I see these dailies as more of something you just kind of place it and forget. So you place the trade and you forget about it and you just let it expire. We don't use stops. Once we're in the market, in a position, we don't get out until that binary expires. So it's a very easy process. And so far the results have looking really, really good. So nonetheless, that's coming up in December. Okay, so overall, as you can see, we were hitting at 90% on our first trades, and most every day I was able to hit my objective. My personal objective is $500. Once I hit 500, I stop trading. Okay, there are some times when I may decide to put on a few more contracts on a trade, and that's why you see me going over the $500 mark, particularly on Thursdays when I'm using the crystal ball. So Thursday nights I trade the crystal ball, and obviously things were really kicking Thursday night. In fact, Thursday was my best day of the whole week, and so that's why I usually go over. But by and large, I always recommend that you come in with an objective, and I've gone back trading that way. And so once I hit my objective, I stop trading myself, and I just go ahead and continue to work with the students and explain all the patterns that are developing. And that's something I do in chat. So anyway, we can take a look at the charts. What I'm going to share now is I want to go ahead and share the nightly charts for this week. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Aussie USD, and I'm going to show you some of these setups. These are all PAP trades. This is something I just recently are released. 99% of my trades, I'm using this particular pattern, but all of them are good. It just depends what your preference is. I can't follow all of them because it's just way too many, but doesn't mean I won't take some of the other patterns from time to time, but just to keep focused on one or two patterns, I think is ideal. And so this is the pattern that I focus on. So let's jump over here and let's go ahead and let's look at Sunday night on the Aussie and see what that looks like. Okay, this is the Aussie USD for Sunday night. At night, I usually trade between 7 p.m. Central to 9 p.m. Central. Okay, so that would be 8 to 10 if you're Eastern time. And most of these pairs are only going to get on average around 3 to 5, maybe 6 signals over a 2-hour period. So in this particular case, Aussie only had 3 of them, and they were all wins. Okay, so as you can see, one of the things about this particular pattern is this is a universal pattern. So it doesn't matter if I'm trading 5 minutes or hourlies or dailies. These patterns hold in all time frames because they are universal. And it is designed to stay in flow with the market, and it did a beautiful job Sunday night on the Aussie. So let's just take a look at Tuesday. And the reason I'm showing you this is something that I share in chat. When you join chat, if you decide you want to purchase one of the packages, you can do that and study on your own. I think it's a big plus to come in the chat because not only are you going to be able to trade with other successful traders, but you're going to be trading with me. You're going to see the trades I'm taking. And I'm also going to be pointing out these patterns to help you learn them and identify them. That's why you see the arrows here, okay? These arrows are pattern setups. And when I get into one, I tell you exactly where I'm getting in it. If for some reason I decide to stay away from a particular setup, I explain to you why that is as well. So I just think that if you want to take your trading to the next level, I think it's important to join chat. Otherwise, if you're kind of like a self-learner and you just want to study the videos and do this on your own, you don't need to get in the chat. You can just purchase the core package, study all the videos, and take from there. Just plenty of good information in there for you to get started. But I just think it's important to come in the chat, and you'll be able to trade with other successful traders. And I just think it makes a big difference when it comes to trading these on a short-term basis. So anyhow, okay, so let's take a look at Monday and see what that looks like. Okay, so here's the chart for Monday's Aussie USD from 7. Like I said, I trade from 7 to 9. And let me see. Actually, that's not the evening. Let me go ahead and switch this. This is actually day. You can see the day was just awesome. Obviously, you're going to get a lot more trades. All day I had, I don't know how many trades you have, or maybe 12, maybe more than that. You had a couple losses, and that was it. I mean, it was just in sync all day long. But let me go ahead and switch this over to the night. All right, that looks better. I noticed something was wrong there with all those signals. You don't get that many signals over 2 hours. Okay, so we had 3 signals in the Aussie. You can see that. Let's stretch this out a little bit here. You can see what we had here is we had just 3 trades, 2 wins, 1 loss. That was just in the Aussie. Obviously, I have 7 different pairs that I can pick from at night. Typically, I'm only going to trade the 4 main ones. But nonetheless, Aussie still ended up having a decent night and a great day. So overall, Monday was a really good day for the Aussie, both morning and evening. All right, let's go to Tuesday and let's see what Tuesday looks like. All right, so here's Tuesday evening. You can see, pretty average. In this particular night, we had 4 trades. Like I said, you can have anywhere between 3 to 6. This is for 3 winners, 1 loss, which is, 75%. Not a bad night. And of course, now remember, these are the naked setups. In other words, I'm not using any filtration whatsoever. I'm just giving you the stats on how they perform when they set up, okay? Obviously, you could filter it out with others and increase your percentages of probability if you want to do that. Or like I trade a lot of these, but I just use really good money management, okay? And there's a lot of little tricks along the way that you learn that I share in chat on, when is it in sync and when does it tend to phase out of sync? What are those warning signs? When are the warning signs when it's going to get back in the phase? You know, if I have a loss, what is my probability that the next one's going to be a winner? Obviously, it depends on whether it's in phase or not. All those things are important on managing your size. But nonetheless, even if you don't even, if you're not at that level yet, just outright just taking the naked signals, you still have some pretty high probabilities in your favor. That's kind of what I want to show here. All right, let's take a look at Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday, obviously a really good night. We had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 7 trades, 100% Aussie. 100% is not unusual. You know, this doesn't happen like every blue moon, right? This happens a lot where I have 100% win rate. So, man, once it gets in phase, it stays in phase, and it usually stays in phase for some time. And so when it's, what I like to do is when I see something that's in phase, I tend to get a little bit more aggressive. Okay, and which means I'm just basically going to hit my objective a lot earlier than have to stretch it out over a 2-hour period. But nonetheless, really, really good night. And it wasn't just in the Aussie. We had, I think the yen, I think, was 100. I think everything except the pound US, but all the other ones were hitting at 100% this night. All right, let's jump over to Thursday. Okay, Thursday night again, Aussie US, trading the 5 minutes between 7 and 9 p.m. Central Time, 8 to 10 Eastern. We had a total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This particular trade right here, I didn't mark it, but that I know that was a winner, but this one was a loser right here. So out of the 6 trades, we had 2 losses. Still not bad. Obviously, we didn't have 100% win rate Thursday night, but overall, Thursday night was a really good night. And that doesn't include the crystal balls. This is strictly one of my patterns that is taught in the core package. Obviously, I'm trading some of these, but I do a lot of crystal ball trading on Thursday night. So those trades I'm not showing, but nonetheless, good night overall. Not only just in the crystal ball, but also really good for the also very good for the just the trading the core strategy. And not having a whole lot of trades, but still did very good for the night overall with the 4 different pairs that we trade. All right, let's take a final look at Friday. Okay, so here's Friday morning. Obviously, there was no night trading on Fridays, but this is Friday morning session. Friday's the remember NADEX closes at 4 p.m. Eastern. So, but you can see that Fridays was just a killer day, and Fridays are typically not a very good day, but I was in sync all day long, usually from the first thing in the morning, and then it just stayed in sync all day long. So I had a lot of nice wins. I hit my objective, it was around 11:30, so from 8 to 11, 8, 9, 10, 3 hours, I had already hit my objective, and I was done for the day. So just a really strong day. Not only in the Aussie, but we were seeing it in the yen. Surprisingly, even saw it in the pound and the euro. Everything was just on fire. And some of the ones we don't trade a lot, the euro yen, pound yen, were also doing extremely well. I think I took a few of those as well. Just everything was moving. And so Friday, was just a really good day. All right, so once again, if you'd like to know a little bit more about how I trade and what I do, the best way is to get a hold of me by just going to my website, binaryprostrategies.com. There's contact information in there. Just go ahead and contact me, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. The other thing is the core package right now is still including the pattern. At some time that's probably going to go away, and just I'm going to put it with the crystal ball package. I don't have any dates on that right now, but it's still part of the core package, and it's probably one of the strongest patterns that I have besides the crystal ball. So there's still time to go ahead and get that included with the core package. So if you like these videos, please give me a thumbs up. Please also subscribe or keep you up to date on any new videos I'm sending out. We're probably going to be doing some at the month. We're also going to offer maybe a free trial for people that want to see some of the daily signals. So we're working on that. Don't have anything set in stone, but we're trying to figure out the best way to go ahead and get that out to everybody that just kind of wants to follow it for about a week or so. and you'll be able to see just how strong these patterns are. Besides that, that's it. I hope everybody has a great week coming up. I'll be Sunday night trading with my students. As I always say, Sunday nights are one of the best nights. So if you have an opportunity to trade Sunday nights, if you're not watching a football game or whatever, do some trading on Sunday nights. I'm sure you're going to find that to be quite profitable. So that's it. Everybody have a great week, and we will talk to you next week. Take care.